Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video. This time, we will be ranking the rides at Universal Orlando Resort, but we are going to do it differently. Instead of me going by just the ride experience itself, I'm going to be breaking down the different aspects of each ride and giving them a rating from 1 to 10, and in the end, I'm going to total the scores up and rank each ride based on their score out of 50. So that's the gist of it, but let's just jump right into this. There will be 5 categories to look at, and those are facade, story, is the average wait time worth it, queue, and overall ride experience. This time, we will be looking at Minion Land. So let's start with the first ride you get to when you enter the studios, and that is Despicable Me Minion Mayhem. Starting out with the facade of the ride, which includes everything that you can see from the front entrance. This facade was actually better than I remember, and I don't know why, but I seriously forgot how good this entrance was, despite the fact that I see this all the time. The facade is actually a recreation of Gru's house from the movies, and it looks really accurate. It has the odd proportions, as well as the car hanging out of the garage, and overall is actually really good, and I'd give it a 7 out of 10. It's really good, but not the best. Next up, we have the story of the ride. The story goes that you have been invited to Gru's house because Dr. Nefario has invented a way to turn you into a minion. But Gru's very busy planning a surprise. So the girls take over your training, and of course, something goes wrong. You then enter into the restricted area before you are saved by Gru, and he surprises the girls with an adoption anniversary present. And you are accidentally inverted back into people. The story is very clear, and from the moment you enter the queue, if you pay attention, even remotely close attention, and those who are oblivious, at least the story is explained in the pre-show. But it's very fun and cute, and overall a good and well-conveyed story, so for that I give it an 8. Again, not the best, but still pretty high. Now we have the ride's queue, which is a queue of 2 halves. The outdoor portion is absolutely terrible. I mean, it's like a typical Six Flags queue. There's a cattle pen, but at least it has some cover, but it's just metal and concrete until you get inside. Then, once you get inside, the queue is amazing. It is a complete recreation of Gru's house from the movies. It has all the little, minutiae and details, from the family tree to the freeze ray, the piranha, the lion eating the food chain head thing. The second half is amazing, and the first half is horrendous, so I'd give the queue a 5 out of 10. Right in the middle, because of how good the second half is. Next up is the average wait time, and I'm pulling these off of q-times.com. The average wait time is 39 minutes, and absolutely no. I won't even wait 5 minutes for this ride. The ride is just not worth a long wait at all. So, I give it a 1. Finally, we have the overall ride experience, which this ride just isn't good. You sit in a theater and watch a movie while the seats move around jerkily. The actual movie that you are watching is pretty fun with the cute story and fun visuals, but the movement is, like I said, very jerky, and the screen quality isn't great since they took away the 3D. So I'd give the ride a 3 out of 10. It's not the worst attraction, but it's not very good either. This brings the total to 24 out of 50, so not even halfway there point-wise. But we'll have to see what happens with the rest of the scores. Now let's go across the street to Villain Con Minion Blast. Starting with the facade, we have a pretty basic one. The colorings are nice with the purple and orange and the giant Villain Con logo, but it's pretty flat and not too impressive. Then next to it is the giant show building. It's very utilitarian and gets the job done, but that's it. so I'll give the Facade a 5. Now we have the story of the ride, which is you show up to Villain Con and are invited to compete in a challenge to be part of the Vicious Six. The story is conveyed through the queue if you pay attention, but you have to pay attention in the exterior portion to catch the story. Because once inside, the story is lost on the actual theming of the queue and ride. So the story, I give a 4 because it is kind of unique, but it's also pretty lost as far as explanation goes. Next up is the queue line itself. And again, it's a queue of two halves. The exterior portion is a bit better than Mayhem, with some more pops of color and fun posters, and some fun music, but it's still just metal and concrete. Then the inside is absolutely amazing. It actually feels like you are on the show floor for VillainCon, with the funky booths displaying the weird items and selling weird gadgets. It's just a bright and vibrant atmosphere with the music pumping before you climb into the blaster pickup room, where you continue into a kind of bland area, but you're more focused on the blaster at that point than the actual queue itself. So I'd give the queue a 6. It has an amazing part and then a kind of bland part. Now for the average wait time, which is 15 minutes. And yeah, I'd wait that amount for sure. The ride is a lot of fun, and I mean, 15 minutes is just a little bit of time in the outdoor portion before you get inside. So I'd give it a solid 9. I mean, 15 minutes is a good wait, but I'm not going to give it a 10 just because it's not my favorite attraction. I would wait 15 minutes for it, but that's kind of at the top end of my wait time. The most I'd probably wait is about 20-25 max. Now we have the overall ride experience, and I find it to be pretty fun when everything works. Trying to get the highest score and just blasting everything. There is actually some skill involved in tactics, though, to making sure you hit the right things, but it's not really a ride. You just stand on the moving walkway and shoot at screens. So, to me, I can't really call this experience a ride, but the game aspect is fun, so I'd give it a 5. The attraction is fun, but nothing special either. With all of that being said, the final score is 29 out of 50. So, still kind of low, or higher than Minion Mayhem. But that is the first round of ride ratings for this series. Next time, we will be back with the New York area. Let me know what you think of this idea, but we'll see y'all next time on another adventure.